In the last 20 years, two major players came to dominate the ski industry, turning the sport from a local pastime into a global portfolio. Scarlett Fu brings us the story.
This is the view up at Winter Park. I mean, we are in desperate need of snow. You can see how thin that snowpack is.
In the past year, skiers have dealt with record high prices, record low snow, and disruption on the slopes caused by strikes. Despite the challenges, the industry is booming, with the number of skiers rising almost 17% from 2016. And for the 60 million plus skiers visiting U.S. resorts each winter, there is a choice to make. Buy a mega pass before the season starts that gives you access to up to 80 mountains around the world, but leaves you at the mercy of seasonal conditions.
Our job is really to have a long-term relationship with our guests, and so that they feel like they're making a commitment to us year in and year out, good weather, bad weather.
Or go old school. Buy a less expensive pass at your favorite resort, preserving that hometown feel.
It's been a great thing, I think, for our industry because it's a challenging industry that we have.
Ski mountains have to make a similar decision. Are they in with the mega pass or are they out?
The one thing that hasn't changed is you get people to come here, they get out on the hill, they go skiing, they have a great time, and they want to come back.
Whatever they decide, they have Vail Resorts to thank or blame. CEO Rob Katz introduced the Epic Pass 18 years ago, offering a deal to skiers and shaking up the business of skiing in the process.
So it was a massive discount when we offered it at, $579. But the thinking was that we could, at that low price point, we could put many more people in the product, and all of a sudden that would start to create more of a subscription model to the ski business, rather than just this kind of daily feast or famine model, which was the lift ticket business.
Katz's relationship with Vail Resorts, now the largest ski resort operator in the world, goes back to the 1990s, when he oversaw a deal that rescued what was then Vail Associates. Katz joined the board and became CEO in 2006. He left the company in 2021 and returned in 2025. During his first go-round, he grew the company from 5 resorts to a portfolio of 37.
I think initially the pitch was just, hey, we thought that there was an opportunity for us to really apply better management techniques to these other resorts that we bought. And the 2 resorts that we bought initially were Keystone and Breckenridge, which were right down the road from Vail and Beaver Creek. And so the thought was also we could start actually managing them and doing it more efficiently. We could also offer some things so people could go to these different resorts and market to that in a more unified way.
Vail initially targeted other neighboring resorts in Colorado.
The first group of founders at Arapahoe Basin hung on to the place till 72. Another independent guy owned it till 1978. And then in the late 90s, what was called Ralston Resort, which was Arapahoe Basin, Keystone, and Breckenridge, merged with Vail Associates, forming Vail Resorts.
It wasn't long before Vail controlled roughly 43% of Colorado's ski areas by count. In 1997, the U.S. Department of Justice forced a sale on Arapahoe Basin, citing Vail's excessive market concentration. Still, A-Basin, as locals call it, chose to continue partnering with Vail, which meant it was included in the first iteration of the Epic Pass.
The view at that point was that the company's multiple was well below a lot of other travel companies. And there was a real sense that the ski industry was really a feast or famine business, where if it snowed, you did well. If it didn't snow, you didn't do well. And actually, ski resorts had been declining in the United States from 720 ski resorts, I think in the late 70s, to 550 ski resorts. So the business was really struggling, and the focus was that there was not the stability and the confidence in the future of the industry because of the ups and downs of weather. So the thinking was, how could we stabilize that? And so what we came up with was really offering an incredible value to our guests by giving them a huge discount on this season pass and trading with them, right? Essentially giving them this great discount, this great value, but then also our guests taking some of the risk of weather for the rest of the season.
Before Epic was introduced in 2008, a season pass at Vail Resort would cost you around $1,800. With an Epic Pass today, an adult skier has unlimited access to 42 Vail-owned or partner mountains around the world for just over $1,000.
How did this pass model change how you plan capital expenditures, how you assess risk overall?
It made a big difference. So, historically in the ski industry, you would wait to see how the ski season was, And if it snowed and you had a good year, then you'd make commitments for the following year for capital. But as we started to do well with our season pass business, we all of a sudden started to move back when we were willing to commit. So we started saying, hey, wait, we can commit to things in December or in September or in March the year before.
Then came competition. In 2018, Alterra brought together Mammoth Resorts and Squaw Valley, now known as Palisades Tahoe in California, and Deer Valley in Utah. Soon, Alterra launched the Ikon Pass, its version of the Epic Pass. Here's Jared Smith, CEO of Alterra.
The premise or the thesis for the business was really that there was some space in the industry for another large player. The introduction of Epic Pass by Vail was a game changer for the industry, no doubt about it. It's one of those unique products that is truly win-win. What we were able to do at Ikon Pass was take that core model, which was for Vail of its owned and operated resorts largely, and take that and put together a network of people that didn't have to be owned by the same corporation to enjoy those same benefits. And in turn, to give consumers the opportunity to have that same exposure and that same cost-benefit analysis across a whole variety of other resorts.
The two dominant mega passes ushered in a new demographic of skiers.
The new mega passes, really what it did initially was drive the prices down. It's just that there are ski areas out there, there are companies out there that do want to drive guests to that mega resort pass or that multi-resort pass, and in doing so, they're trying to entice you with that great price point.
It's kind of a membership, right? So I think people historically said the only kind of person who could buy a season pass has to be a local. So the fact that we made the product price competitive for the destination skier, somebody coming from New York or Florida or Texas, all of a sudden they started to feel like they were a local as well.
For resorts, climate unpredictability reinforced the case for the mega pass, as the industry depends more heavily on capital-intensive snowmaking equipment.
As we started to acquire resorts in different regions, all of a sudden the pass provided access to different regions who all have different weather patterns. And so that made the pass even more attractive.
Where we're able to make some of the investment in the physical plants here, combined with the technology advancements that you've seen in the quality of things like snowmaking, which uses less energy and uses less water to produce actually more yield and what we're able to put on the hill.
But as demand for the Epic Pass grew, it became kind of a victim of its own success. 2 seasons ago, Vail sold a record number of passes. It's too early to tally up this season's pass sales, but Vail said the total number of skiers is down 20% from the same time last year.
The locals don't love the whole Epic situation because of the crowds, because of the prices, because of the concentration on just finances and money.
I think there's no doubt that anytime you make something more accessible and more affordable, there's an opportunity that you have too much of a good thing, right? And you have some people who come, or lots of people who come as a result of that affordability, and they want to come at the peak times. So I think there are lots of examples in the ski industry of peak windows on high holidays with great snow conditions where lots of people want to come out and do the thing that they love that can lead to longer lines.
In 2019, A-Basin ended its partnership with Vail, cutting off ties with the Epic Pass.
Arapahoe Basin opened early. It was one of the first resorts in the country, and the concept of ski resorts was very different back then. How's the skiing?
Alan Hensroth is president and COO of A-Basin.
By 2019, 2018, we felt we could really do this better not being part of Vail. Vail was a great company for us in a lot of ways, but we kind of outgrown that and we're looking for something different. We just thought we needed more control over our passes, more control of people coming here, more control of the actual experience that all our guests were having. And Vail was such a big, successful company, they brought really more people here than we could handle at one time. So we made a change in our past relationships.
In 2024, A-Basin completed its journey from being an independent resort to a partner of Vail, to independent again, to now a partner of Alterra. For a ski area that's passed through the hands of companies big and small, A-Basin is hoping for the best of both worlds, an independent feel on a mega pass.
Of course, when the sale went down, and it was almost a year leading to the closing of the sale, people were concerned. But as last year went on and they realized we weren't turning into a bunch of monsters, I think more and more people are accepting that A-Basin's going to be okay. and we're going to do just fine. You know, the one thing about being part of a family of more resorts is, you know, there are some people that are committed skiers and they want to buy a season pass to one place and they're satisfied with that. But I think there's another group of people that like some diversity. They want to try different resorts, they want to ski at different resorts, they want to have choices. And you know, when we decided to leave Vail, we could have been independent, but we thought people really wanted choices. And we thought we'd have the best future when there were opportunities for people to take advantage of those choices.
Today, you know, we have, I think it's roughly 2/3 of our resorts fall into that independent category. Like last year, independent resorts did see an uptick in visitation, which was great to see. And we saw a little bit of a decline in some of our large or extra large resorts. You know, it's just the way the pendulum swings, is that if you're not happy in one aspect of the sport, maybe you're going to go find something a little bit different.
While A-Basin joins a new team and navigates another chapter, there's still the choice to ski the old-fashioned way at smaller, independent resorts like Mad River Glen in Waitsfield, Vermont, which runs on a skier-owned co-op model and is the last remaining slope in the continental U.S. to operate a single chairlift.
We really are known for our black trails.
Matt Lillard is the general manager.
The co-op has 3,000 shares, but there can only be 2,500 owners of those shares. So everybody that has a share gets a vote. You can only own a maximum of 4 shares, but that's still only 1 vote. So that's one of the key things about a cooperative is you can't have somebody come in, buy up a bunch of shares and have an outweighted say like you would a normal corporation.
What problems did the co-op ownership structure solve that traditional ownership did not?
I think what it did is it was able to pool the passion that the skiers have for the mountain into an entity that can take care of it. So it enabled those people to have a say in what was going on here and support it both financially and with their visits. The shareholders have a bigger say in a cooperative than they will, you know, at a publicly traded place like Vail Resorts or something private like Alterra. So they get to say that we want low skier density, and that's one of their primary goals. It's written into the bylaws, it's written into the articles of incorporation. And so that's basically saying that when you're on the mountain, they don't want it to be crowded. They want to be able to ski, they don't want people whizzing by them.
He says the co-op sold out of shares this year, even if that means bringing skiers up 1 chair at a time.
So I sit down.
Yep, so you'll sit down, and then once you get going, you'll close the safety bar.
And that's it.
That's it.